Mobile warfare has been completed. So tanks and armor variants get more breakthrough, which is irrelevant to us. Division speed, though, is very relevant. Let's get the organization plus 15. Ultimately, the mobile warfare tree does have the highest organization for infantry units, so they can keep going and keep going and keep going. It's really quite nice, actually. Right, let's have you do that. Make sure we turn around, because I don't want these guys turning around and attacking me annoyingly. I also want you to go for Philadelphia, because that looks like it'll be a fairly easy victory. And you can just go ahead and capture those. And then anyone who is assigned to that can now be assigned to this. With the exception of you, who just runs down there and grabs those. You guys are no longer needed. Let's assign you to that. Good! You did very well holding Norfolk. What level skill did you get? One of you is a veteran, the other one is seasoned. Not bad. New York has been captured. We have captured the city of New York from our enemies. There is an opportunity to recover some lost resources in the city. We can strip some of the factories and take some of the resources. No, we're not going to. I don't want to lose a civilian factory. I don't particularly want 1,000 infantry equipment, and I would quite like to have that political power, because this will enable me to go to the economics of war. For the 20% additional construction speed. Although that's only for military factories. Well, I guess there's no penalty for civilian ones anymore. Anyway, lovely. Also, dockyards. We are... Wow, we are really short on steel. Interesting. I'm going to have to take over the Appalachians. Or Michigan area. Is that where the steel comes from? I'll have to check that. Right, ships. The best ship that we can still get... Actually, we could get a carrier. Yeah, why not? We'll get a carrier. USN Battleship Fleet. Let's flip you guys around. And then do that. And we are definitely going to need to get some steel now. So where is the American steel supply? There is a bunch of it up there, as I assumed. A little bit there. I mean, we've already got the big steel producers. There's some there. Yeah, there's a bunch there. Okay. What's that? Minnesota. Minnesota. Right. Are we having problems with occupied territory? Not really, because this is all technically core land. You got a troop over here? Where were they? What? Oh, you're retreating to that. Okay. Interesting. And fiddlers. Do we want to attack through the south? I don't think I do, actually. I think I'm going to switch this assault to being from that side. Make of that what you will. Hey, Dana. Oh, blimey, you said a lot. You actually need to scroll the chat. Is it more effective to add artillery or heavy armor to your infantry divisions? That depends on a number of things. So if your infantry, or rather if your grand battle plan, then having artillery support and heavy armor is a good idea. If you are mobile warfare, then kind of the same template, maybe even medium tanks, especially if you're going to be switching your infantry to mechanized. If you are superior firepower, then you just want to maximize the amount of artillery you have there and just don't have any heavy armor. It also depends on how strong your industry is. So if you're able to actually support building a lot of heavy armor, then sure. If not, then artillery is probably the better payoff. Other factors are also the design companies that you have available. So you have a design company which is really good with artillery. So if, for example, if you have an artillery manufacturer, my one, the Army Ordnance Department, not great, it's only production cost. If it was adding breakthrough or attack or soft attack, then that would be a bigger plus. Or if it's like this with the medium tank where you get soft attack, hard attack, breakthrough. So I'll probably be using medium tanks more than I will be heavy tanks. But for my like just solid infantry divisions, I thought I'd have just that extra bit of backbone. Especially as I'm mobile warfare, which means my tanks generally are just stronger. What's going on in England and Europe? That's a good question. Belgium has managed to push out a little bit. The German-French border is pretty static, though. That war hasn't been going on that long yet. You guys are stomping on Georgia. Nothing really going on over there. Princely Federation are eating Madras. The Republic of China is beating the AOG. Allgemeine Ostasien Gesellschaft. And that seems to be about it. The only one that I'm really interested in is who's winning the naval war. That might actually be the communists. Because combined against these two combined versus Germany, they actually outnumber them. The Entente are not in this war yet. So the Entente massive navy hasn't actually joined anyone yet. Allgemeine. I was hesitating there because I'm like, I know I'm missing a letter because I always do that. Yeah, it is Allgemeine. Hey, Lars, man. What happened to Qing? They became reorganized China. Have they gone fascist? They have indeed gone fascist. They are a Japanese puppet? Interesting. That's going to change affairs here. Because Japan now definitely has the manpower between Fentiang and reorganized China to take on Russia. And also just the open border. Particularly if they take out Mongolia. And if they were able to take out the Republic of China and take that as well. That changes things. That really does change things. Yeah, I know it's Allgemeine. I just always forget the G, as Trotling pointed out. And we realised that on Thursday. Because usually I'm pretty good at saying the Allgemeine Ostasiengesellschaft. Even without looking at it. Just because it's one of my favourite names. I basically like any German names. They're awesome. Like the Panzerunterstützung. No, Infantry mit Panzerunterstützung. It just sounds so angry even if it doesn't need to be. Okay, so we should be stomping Long Island soon enough. And then it's just this last holdout for Philadelphia. And honestly, that is going to be collapsing soon enough. There we go. We have secured the whole of New York. Lovely. There's still a couple of naval battles going off on the coast there. Where are you getting repaired? You have no ports left. Oh, that's interesting. So the USA has got no ports. They can't actually repair their ships anymore. Because they lost Baltimore, which was their one shipyard. Nikki Glace is indeed in charge. That's also kind of why I did a double take, because I'm fairly sure they've changed the... He's a dictator, political power gain. Huh. Because you don't actually see that many leaders with traits. Or have they added them? No. Even Wilhelm doesn't have one. Interesting. Well, I guess that's one potential reason to take Nikki Glace in exchange basically for the life of Wales. Because Wales always dies when he's in charge. Pittsburgh has been captured. Can't speak. Pittsburgh's been captured. We're not stealing from them. I want those factories and I want them to be awesome. Alright, last pocket here and then we can concentrate on them proper. So, who's going to be next? Do I want to try and take what I can from the United States before the PSA take them out? Because that's going to be one massive PSA. Or do I want to continue the rampage through the CSA before the PSA can even get there? Oh, they've now lost half of their victory points. Interesting. So apparently this has counted. Why did we not take that? I am pretty sure I tasked one of you, at least, to get it for me. 7 cut-offs. Ha! That's a lot better than the 3 you got from me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Where's the Dixie accent? I was asked in no uncertain terms to stop yesterday, so I have stopped. I'm still a little bit hesitant about posting that onto YouTube. So when it goes up tomorrow, I'm going to be kind of intrigued to see what the reaction is. Kurdish uprising. Oh, we got a veteran infantry unit. Nice. And still no tanks. What is going on? Built 2 a month, and I'm sure it's been more than a month. Oh wow, that's a lot of chromium short. So yes, I think it is now reasonable for us to go ahead and import some. Union of South Africa. Seems reasonable. And steal from Germany. Do I want to beat up? Do I want to build up the Germans? I think I'm actually going to buy it from Sweden. Alright, that will do. We have a couple of repairs to do, but that won't really take too long. And we are now very short on civilian factories, but we will be getting a bunch more. Right, Trodling, job's done. Marvellous. So, next objective. Do I want to take out the CSA or do I want to take the USA? Or do I just not want to do anything? I think I might actually go for the school of let's not do anything. And also, let's go and shift you back to an offensive from here. So we have Trodling coming from the east, and then Fiddlers going up from the north, from the south. Why is Nicky Glace's dictator isn't the guy that wants decentralization in Britain? Yeah, he is, which is why I'm a little bit surprised that he is the dictator. Also, how many kills have we got now? USA, still roughly 2-1, 85 for 45 against you guys, 300 for 100. So we should definitely be hurting your manpower a little bit now. You're still volunteer only, and you still have 3 times more than we do. USA is on extensive, and you have 8 times more than we do. And then Pacific States, you are also on extensive, and you have 4 times. Okay. So we're not doing terribly. We can just kind of sit back and trench a little bit. And prepare for another offensive. Although right now I'm kind of happy just to sit back on my laurels and get a bit of experience basically for free. So thank you guys, I really appreciate that. Right, we've got loads of guns. We have an awful lot of guns. So what I could probably start doing is turning some of you guys into infantry divisions. And I think I might start with you. Turn you into infantry. That will cost 17,000 manpower. Yes, I can afford all of that. And then you 4 can join Trodling as elite divisions. And the other thing I can start doing is reducing the amount of land you need to guard. Down to there. So it's still going like very heavy defences up here, but that's going to be entirely Trodling's responsibility now. How are you guys doing? I doubt the Americans are going to be pushing us very hard here, and in fact some of their units are getting some serious damage done. So we could actually shift Trodling down to the south once more and start pushing here. Just so we don't get pushed back. Tempting, tempting. Although I do need to kind of keep a half eye on that. Just punch Cleveland, make a cut-off without taking many more victory points. Why are you doing a battleship plan? You have no ports. AI, priorities. Needs to have better weighting. Lend-Lease from Cuba. Ottoman declared war on Cyprus. That's not the Cypriot uprising. It is the Cypriot uprising. I was going to say, that I'm pretty sure it's usually Cyprus declaring war on them. Apparently not this time. Alright, so USA is almost out. Do I want to try and get some more points against the USA? I think I do. So I'm going to change the decision I just made here. And we are going to send Trodling to go and bolster the forces down here. I don't really want to fight across the Rockies, so I think I'm going to set you up like so. And have you go up to about here. Obviously, I don't mean like that. I mean like that. Okay. Ottoman Axis War. And we have supported the resource companies. Marvellous. That means, I believe, that we can now get corporate power! Gain the national spirit corporate economic policy, which increases civilian factory construction speed by 15% and factory output by 20%. Which is just ridiculous. The might of the corporations brings victory for Americans. With their vast resources and ingenuity, we'll have victory for every true and patriotic American company. The riches of the corporations earned through the war shall go to those who fought for the true America, and their might will make everyone tremble against the eagle. Sponsored by Ford. Do I have enough convoys? No, apparently I don't. Because I'm trading. I was not trading before. I did check earlier, but I had enough. But you are quite right, I do need some. So what I think I'm going to do is a line of you, a line of you, a line of you. Done. In fact, I may even put you above them. Something like that. And now I am making getting too much steel. So let's go ahead and reduce the amount that we are importing. Yes, the wealth shall trickle down to the rich. How could you portray Huey and go corporate? Huey has been from the very, very start sponsored by the corporations. And it is clearly the corporations who want the best for America. Because how else can they have such an excellent area to do business from? I mean, if you're supporting the workers, you're a communist. It's that simple. And we all see how that's gone. Nicky Glacis' bardic name also, his actual anglicised name is Thomas Evan Nicholas. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Players Middle Africa next. I'm not doing anything else with Germany until the Allgemeine Ostasiengesellschaft has a focus tree. No! Cut off! Damn it! I leave you guys for a minute. Ah! Son of a bitch. Oh well. One militia regiment will die for the greater good of corporate America. Oh, but I can reduce your line now. It is there. So you just need to worry about the CSA. Like we've got the USA handled. You can push into there as well. Is there anything else I can do here? That. And thanks for your help here, Italy. Jeez. Why are you doing so poorly, fiddlers? I'm not entirely sure. We have guns and stuff, right? Yeah, so that is going down. No, because we just built a bunch of, or rather we upgraded a bunch of infantry divisions. So it's not actually going down. We have got some tanks! Huzzah! Also, we are now producing a load of guns. So I'm going to reduce that a little bit, and I'm going to start saying, I would like some fighters. Whole line, though? No. I'm going to say one more for you, and one more for you. And then the infantry divisions can probably have field hospitals now. Nope. Not yet. And I do still have military factories. Artillery we have enough of. Motorized, we probably have enough of. Let's go for one more tank. How are the Ottomans doing? They're at a war on all fronts. It's not looking very good. Yeah, they've already lost Suez. GG, Ottomans, GG. As soon as Suez goes, it's game over. Wow, they are really pushing. You're never going to push through there, though. I'm going to get that bit. Let's go and put some more pressure on the rest of this line, shall we? Make the CSA really think about what they're trying to achieve from this. Meanwhile, how are you doing, Trudling? You still need a bit more time for planning preparation. That is allowed. At least Fiddler's here has got loads and loads of planning preparation, so we can really do some damage there, just punching through. And likewise, Igel, you're going to be able to do a support there. Our ideology has grown! Excellent! How are we doing on that? 75. So we need another 5%, then we're on very high popularity, which is awesome. Yeah, you were destroyed. You could actually go and take that. Soon. Soon we'll be ready for that offensive. Soon. Manpower down to 30,000. I mean, that is really what I'm the most concerned about. Also, the CSA are alarmingly close to Minneapolis, and in fact, it kind of looks like the USA is pushing the PSA back. Russia has declared war on Germany. Oh, GG, Germany. Oh, and you were doing so... Maybe not quite so well anymore. Your navy has not really had any competition yet. The new Eric World from the dev blog sounded interesting. I agree with that. Train more divisions for Patton. I'm kind of hoping to move away from having so many militia divisions and start actually getting some decent ones. I mean, what I really need to just wait for is for my production efficiency to tick up, because at the moment we're still very, very low. How are we doing on the Air Force front? You guys all have planes, except actually the tactical bombers are fine. It's the fighters who are missing out. That's fine. We're building fighters. We may well get pushed back here. Putting on the extra pressure seems to have done its job. I just don't want to lose too many people is the problem. Oh, and America's doing an attack against me. Oh well, that's going to have to be countered. I see your attempt, and I raise you my own. Which means that you need to really stop your offensive now. Because I'm not going to have the supplies and the manpower to maintain an entire massive front line. Brazil's declared war on the United Communes of Brazil. Brazil's dead. Second most pointless civil war in the game, after the Korean one. Except, is the Korean one really a civil war? It's not really, it's a war of independence. But it's not supported by anyone, so it's just suicide. Russian Empire declared war on Turkestan, so Russia's really going aggro. I mean, you're at war with this entire line down here. Well, actually not. You beat Georgia. Japan, just biding their time. Come on, Japan, go after Russia. Now is your chance. You can do it. Do I have enough support equipment for field hospitals? No. I was about 190 short last time I checked. Although it is worth checking just to see how many I would need, just so I know. I would need 420 total. And that's not counting motorized, which I forgot to check. Motorized, I need 280, so I'm still 100 short. So yeah, we're a ways short from getting field hospitals. I mean, I can change my manpower law if I need to. I'm kind of hoping I don't. But actually, the way that this is attritioning out a fair amount, I probably will. This has actually been a more balanced civil war than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting it to be a bit of a walkover. Although it wasn't really a walkover when I was doing it against the players either. But I was expecting that to be because it was done by players. Decryption will give us more tactics. We've got all those. 39 is for that tank, 39 is for that. Engineering, we may as well get even better tactics. And 38, we can't get any of those. So, I think it's going to be the tactical bomber time. Am I going tactical bomber or am I going close air support? I actually decided previously it was close air support, didn't I? Actually, we probably do need carrier fighters, so let's go ahead and research that. Good. So, Trodling's offensive is doing well. Belgium's gone. Fiddlers seems to have contained itself a little bit better. Good. And we are now producing tanks, definitely. So how many tanks would we need to outfit this unit with armoured? We would need 548. Oh man, that's going to be a ways away. What I could do is edit you, duplicate, add field hospitals, add a heavy tank, and remove an infantry. And call you the American Patriotic Freedom Fighters. No, Fighters for Freedom. Fighters for Freedom. No, no, I can't get the M! Freedom Fighters it is. Right, that'll do. Save that. So the American Patriotic for Freedom Fighters, I do need to give you a different emblem. Actually, that is kind of the most suitably patriotic. Is there any, like, eagle? There is an eagle. Right, you guys are the eagle. And then what I was going to do was start upgrading some of the Trotling troops to that. Except the Papal Decree Division sounds a bit strange to be doing that. So let's do the Atlantas and the South Carolinas to the American Patriotic Freedom Fighters. They're slightly low on heavy tanks, but otherwise they've actually got more than enough, and we'll actually gain back some infantry equipment. So that's good. Could have called them the Minutemen. True. Should just call them the good old boys. The good old boys with really, really heavy tanks and lots of guns. Yeah, I really should have. Alright, Trotling, your attack is definitely going quite nicely now. Excellent. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping to rob these from the CSA. And is the USA fighting back? That's the South African Civil War. We're down to 16,000 manpower. Corporate power, however, is completed. There's no going back now. Alright, so we can get 150 political power, national unity. Building for the military. Are there any which will give me more manpower? Well, actually we can go down the armoured line, which would give us the ridiculous patterned mobility plan, which gives silly bonuses. This one which gives more recon company bonus, which is quite nice, and also leadership gain, which is pretty cool. Reconstruction, American Republic, Long Doctrine. Political power, and then I can get the manpower thing. I think that's probably what I need to do. We need to win their hearts and minds as well as win on the battlefield. To that end, let us focus on spreading the propaganda for our revolution and the virtues of America and Huey Long. Sponsored by Ford. By focusing on the propaganda efforts, we can spread our victory and win the hearts and minds of Americans for corporations everywhere. Huzzah! Women's Army Corps. Do I have access to... I already got it. Women at Work. Wasps is the Air Force one. That's just support tech. Yeah, none of those give more manpower. And I'll be choosing pattern. I'm not going for Colin. We're mobile warfare. We're not superior firepower. Alright, Fiddlers. Are you ready for another push? We have the supplies available to support it. Do it. Have another go. Take back some of our territories over on that side. Plus I want to make sure that we maintain pressure on the CSA while we're kind of gobbling this area up. Full corporate, you just got remonetized. Oh, touche. Touche. Gamma Quad, hello. Yeah, I will be changing conscription laws, but I need the political power for it. Which is why I'm taking the focus, which allows me to get more political power. You guys are losing on basically every assault. This is a terrible move. Stop. Even Trotling has slowed. I was noticing that I'm struggling a little bit with the Air Force. Our aeroplanes are being shot down an awful lot. Why? Why are you getting shot down? This is not acceptable. In fact, we are losing air superiority everywhere. In fact, I think I actually want to grab you guys and have you support over here. Although no, at the moment you're supporting the attacks over on that side, and that is kind of where we are a little bit vulnerable. We've got some more dockyards apparently. We are building convoys. We've still got the destroyer. I'm just going to say go ahead and double down on the carrier production. No, I don't want a treaty with you. There is a focus for it right next to the pattern tree. Oh, that one! Aha! That's only factor, though. That's not a population cap. Factor will not give us very much. Some, yes, but not a lot. Because the difference is cap. Recruitable population versus recruitable population factor.